Little bunny foo-foo, I don't want to see you picking up the field mice and stretching the upholstery on your face until it looks just like the face of their loved one, so you can slowly eat away at their psyche until they lure their fellows into your den. It's Loathsome Things, a horror movie podcast with Josh Me and John He. John He, how are you?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. That was an impressive intro there.
Thank you. I thought of it while pooping.
Whoa, I got a little scared.
It was. I was channeling Alice Pooper.
Oh man, what the hell? Welcome to my poop mare.
Poops out for summer.
Welcome to my shite mare. So how are you doing now, given that the poop is out?
The poop is out. The weather pretended to cool down, which was nice for a minute.
Yeah.
I found my sweaters just in time to put them back into the closet from which they had gained their smell.
Jeez.
And we're here.
Yeah.
It's good. It's October. There's new horror movies galore. Some I care about, some I don't. I'm sure we'll talk about some of that towards the end of the thing, but yeah, things are good. I'm pooping funny, trying to get them triglycerides down. You know, you gotta apparently, John, you have to be careful with chia seeds.
Oh.
'Cause you can go overboard on chia seeds. Apparently, very easily.
There's a fine line between healthy and problem with chia seeds.
Yes, and apparently it's the difference between a teaspoon and a tablespoon.
A line you have discovered.
Oh, wow. I painted the bathroom with that line.
And washed my balls in the sink.
Oh, today when the toilet came up and met me.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah, and yourself, John, how are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing all right. You know, yeah, that's about it. No, I'm doing fine. Nothing too exciting to report, which nowadays is good. So, I also was had busted out a zip-up hoodie, which I wore all of about 5 minutes on my way to work a day or two, and then it was too warm to wear it anymore for the rest of the days. Yeah, it got cool enough at night to where I really wanted to get up and get a blanket, but was too lazy to do so. So I was just cold for a couple hours each morning.
Yep, that's about right.
Yeah. Like, I just got up to pee like 2 hours ago. I'm not getting up again.
I'm glad that you mentioned zip-up hoodies because, honestly, I have an opinion, and that opinion is that pull-over hoodies can go fuck themselves.
I don't have any of those because I fucking hate them.
Yeah, why, like, come on, what are you doing? You need the zipper.
Yeah, unless you live and work outside and live and work above the Mason-Dixon line, you probably don't need a pullover hoodie.
Yeah, it's like some temperature is enough where you would like your arms to be warm, but you gotta let that belly get a little breeze now and then.
That's right. You wanna air out the old gutterini.
Yeah. You want the lower extremities insulated, but you want the sweat that collects between your man breasts and along the crease at the top of your stomach to be able to catch some air and dissipate.
Your chesties.
Yeah, the upside down T of sweat.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Loathsome Things. Male body horror.
Oh my god. Ah!
We survived by the sweat of our taint.
La plume de ma taint.
Good. So, John, what are we talking about today other than gross human body things?
Why? I'm so glad you mentioned it, because this week we're talking about a what is it, second feature film? Third? No, I think second feature film by a chap by the name of Benjamin Barwood, which was released this year. He's done a bunch of other things like comedy shorts and commercials and videos, and that other movie that's like a sexy time horror movie with the title whose name I can't remember, but that doesn't matter because we're not talking about that one. Today we're talking about Daddy's Head.
Daddy's Head.
Isaac.
Good.
Yeah.
The other film, in fact, is called Double Date.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this film is a real pick-me-up, by the way. This is a real put a smile on your face and a kick in your step.
Yeah, it's a real kick in the old serotonin gland, if you know what I mean.
In the old Kerber gland. It's
it'll give you the pitch.
Yeah, this movie doesn't get any more joyful the more you watch it. But it is a good movie. It's just extremely depressing.
Yeah. In a good way.
But it would have been much, much better if Isaac died.
Oh, man, it really would have. That is a great idea. If he just got munched on.
And then at the end, it turned out the whole thing was a hoax, that the dad was alive the whole time. They just did all of that to fuck with that annoying kid.
Yeah, this was all part of her plan the whole time.
Old, like black guy friend and dead dog, all that stuff, that was all fake.
Yeah. That's why there was a creepy S&M guy with his dad's face lurking around in the woods, because it was his dad. He was right the whole time. Your dad, in fact, is not dead.
Your dad is Dieter from Sprockets with Max Headroom's face.
Daddy's Headroom!
Whoa!
That would have been good.
Oh, man. Woo-hoo. Green light.
Oh. Instead, we got this, which I'm going to sound very disappointed in this movie.
Yeah.
But it is, in fact, good. It is a good movie for horror fans. It's a lot of fun. I guess we could go ahead and do that part now. Who should watch it? What mood should they be in? We could talk about the who's and what's later, but there's not really much to say there, other than the actors did a good job. But, so who should watch this movie? What mood should they be in? John!
I mean, I guess if you're a folk horror completist, this might work for you. I mean, it sort of fits into that in a way, kind of, but not really.
Yeah.
I guess. People who like more of a kind of arty, slow burn, which I think we've talked about before, like, people who aren't afraid to deal with some heavy emotional content, I guess, because it does go to a dark place, but it's pretty creepy. I mean, if you like creature movies and you really like folk horror a lot, to the point where you'll watch anything that's considered folk horror, and you like some pretty cool special effects and stuff, but 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 want something a little bit different. This would be a great movie for you to watch. It's usually we do like content warning, and I guess there's dead animal, violence towards
Dead
an
animal.
Of course, there's other, typical horror movie violence, stabbing, and creepiness. But no,
it deals with grief.
It deals with
So
yes, that's basically the major theme of the film, I guess, is grief, right?
Yeah, grief, mourning loss, and how people in a relationship deal with that loss. It's very the Babadook. Like, imagine the Babadook, but if the child isn't the main problem.
Right. It's a domestic horror film which isn't particularly a new concept, but it's that modern version of it, which, like the Babadook, very much, digs very deep into like familial trauma and makes it harrowing, and on screen, and it's like takes the emotional horror and translates it into movie horror stuff, which in this case he did a great job with that. I mean, it is a very disturbing film. If you watch it 80 times, maybe not so much, but if you don't know what's coming around every corner, there's some pretty creepy stuff in there. So
yeah, it's visually striking. It's so I don't know if this argument is still going on, but I know for a while people on the internet like to argue about the merits or non-merits of, quote, elevated horror. And this is like, in that category, but it's also made by a guy who his last movie was Double Date, about women who lure murder men, and virgin guy whose mate wants to get him laid for the first time, and it's a goof-em-up horror movie. So it's a strange one. It's a stretch for this guy. But it's good. It's really good.
it is good.
Some of the things aren't great, but that's any movie. It's not a masterpiece, but it's a solid watch and a cool recommend.
I think overall, just personally speaking, I liked it better than the Babadook. I didn't care for that movie very much, to be honest. Having said that, I like the lead female character in Babadook way more than, the stepmother in this one, or the dad's girlfriend, or whatever the hell she was. But she didn't do a bad job. I just think that other actress is really, really good.
The Babadook would be way harder for us to review just because of, like, rewatching it more than once. Like, that movie is intensely difficult to watch. It's rewarding, but, like, watching that movie 3 times to make notes for it, that would be traumatic.
And as much as I can't stand the child in this movie, the child in the Babadook, I that's something I want to scrape off the bottom of my shoe. I fucking hate that kid. I hate that kid.
But you were supposed to hate that kid.
Well,
like,
mission accomplished.
I will say that little actor guy did a great job of being like the thing that will not be scraped off of one shoe.
And that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole idea, like the whole visual, I guess, representation of the Babadook was pretty cool. But same thing for this monster. This monster is a little harder to pin down.
Yeah.
But but a very cool one. And like, especially when you're first trying to get your head around what it is and how it presents itself. It's Ed.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, if you were going into this movie thinking that Daddy's Head was a Dilfy porn film, were you going to be disappointed?
A zany comedy.
Yeah. Let's go down. So yeah, Benjamin Barfoot's Barfoot second feature, horror after Double Date. Julia Brown as Laura. This is her big, like, starring role premiere. Like, she's been in some other things, mostly British television. But this looks like this might be, like, a step up for her. And she did a great job.
She did.
Like, like you said, you don't like the character, but I don't think you're supposed to like either. I don't think you're supposed to like any of the characters, maybe except Bella.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, nobody's really shown in a great light. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a weird one. Oh, I will say this is also a good one if you're one of those people who really likes architecture films.
Yeah.
Like The Night House, where it's like, yes, architecture. The person that is dead was an architect, and here is some house. This is one of those.
So many house. It's a cool house. It's a very ultra modern, utilitarian, one of those kind of, boxy, lots of straight line houses. It's a pretty house, but and it's kind of a character in the film itself. So.
Oh, it's like the New York of this house.
Oh.
We've got Rupert Turnbull as Isaac. He's been in some British stuff, but much like Julia Brown, this looks like this was his first biggish starring role in a film. And then we have Nathaniel Martello White as Robert. He's got a quite significant career. He's been in all kinds of stuff, including the 2012 Terrence Howard and Cuba Gooding Jr. film Red Tails. And he's a writer and director. He wrote and directed the 2023 Netflix race thriller The Strays.
Okay. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. I liked that movie.
I don't think
it was that's the one where there's the lady who's like mixed race and is like a member of white society, but then her like half siblings who are very black show up and cause problems for her.
That's right. Yeah, that movie had a little bit of a buzz about it. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize he was the director of that one.
Yeah, wrote and directed, and here he is in this one. And it's not the black character that maybe gets killed first.
No, or yeah, only black character and definitely gets killed.
Yeah, so
ish.
Cool choice, Benny.
Yeah, I guess he's not killed, right? He's just badly injured.
Yeah, just his skull is cracked open.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's fine.
He'll pull through.
And also making his film debut is Matthew Allen as the Creature, which, great job, I think.
Yeah, great job. Must be like a gymnast or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you can really crouch down in weird positions that it makes it hard to tell which way you're facing, which is, nice. That's a skill.
Well done. You look like the weird Buddha statue that sits on the table in the house.
Yep, there you go. You look like the sculpture of a horse's leg that for some reason gets a lot of screen time in this movie.
Yep.
All right, anything else we need to go over before I summarize it quickaloo?
No, I don't think so.
All right, into it we go. James, an obscenely wealthy architect, was in a face-flayingly horrific car accident. Laura, his new wife, and Isaac, his son by his dead wife, visit his lump of discolored bandages in the hospital before he is taken off life support. James left everything to her and nothing to Isaac. Laura and Isaac don't really get along. She has to decide whether to adopt Isaac or orphan him to the system, and she begins drinking heavily as Isaac retreats into his Game Boy. Oh, good. It's all very played for dramatic, long time, stretched out sadness. Yes. James's friend Robert starts coming over to be there for both of them. There's a very good dog named Bella. They start seeing flashes of light and a mysterious column of smoke coming from the forest. One night, they're visited by a lump monster. None of them like it, especially Bella, and then it skedaddles. Later, the lump visits Isaac in the night. Now it has a face and tells him to come to the forest. Isaac's claims of his father coming back as a lump scares Laura. They find a wild architecture treehouse in the woods. Isaac insists his dad made it for him and wallops Laura right on the mouth when she prevents him from going inside. Bella gets out in the night, confronts the lump. It changes its face to look like Bella and barks back at her. She attacks, and the next morning they find Bella shredded. It looks like she's been killed with a knife, much like the knife Laura has worried Isaac is hiding from her. The lump appears to Isaac through a vent, first as Bella, then as Isaac's dad. Lump Dad tells Isaac he can't trust Laura and Robert, and only Isaac is special enough to accept it. Isaac lures Robert to the treehouse where he exits the movie for an intensive care bed. After telling Isaac she's leaving, Laura finds the lump snuggling with Isaac, but now its face is all gross and weird and not dad-like at all. So she attacks, she gets concussed. Isaac brandishes the missing knife to protect Laura from the monster lump. Laura turns around just in time, grabs the knife, and then massacres the lump with the knife. 10-ish years later, Isaac is revisiting the property, including the treehouse, which has collapsed. Inside, he finds a photo of himself with his dad, as well as the skeleton of something strange. He then goes home to cuddle up in bed with his hot mom, Laura. Movie over.
Yes, that's it.
Yes. Yep.
Nailed it. Got it all.
That last scene where, like, Laura's just, like, in bed and just, like, shows up in the sunlight and she's looking all hot. I'm like, what is this? Why?
Where are we going? Is that why he was upset? Because his dad got her and not him?
Yeah, that's why he was upset that Robert kissed her, is because he wanted that action?
It must be. Because he was about to lay some hose with old Laura there at the end.
Jesus, there was a lot of stuff. Obviously, I skipped, but that's the nuts and bolts of it. The monster is really cool. We get lots of shots of it, like looking like leather car upholstery with a face underneath, like stretching up against it and going,
Yeah, I love how he's always trying out its voice until it can kind of approximate the dad's voice. But if it gets angry or if it veers anywhere from total control, it starts sounding all weird and monstrous again. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's good. It's a really cool monster. The treehouse is fucking amazing.
Yeah, the treehouse, I don't know where they came up with the idea for that, but that is fucking awesome. It's really cool.
Yeah. It looks like H.R. Geiger's treehouse.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like weird, extended triangular shapes all woven together with like bone-like hunks of branch, and it looked like somebody put a lot of work into that thing.
Yeah, it looks like kind of like a wood frame triangular heart with like ventricles spiraling and going off the top of it. It's tough. If they didn't actually build that, if that was just a visual effect, I'm gonna be so angry, because like that should be the coolest thing. But then of course I guess they would have taken it down, because at the end it's all dilapidated.
Yeah, it's all
not there,
fucked up, but still functional enough that a 8-foot tall child can stand inside of it.
An enormous man-child. The only 7th grader on the varsity football team.
It's like he walks into the thing and barely bows his head, and then when he gets in there with his flashlight, it's like, how is this space so big when it's really just a big pile of broken sticks?
Well, that's the magic of architecture, John. That guy probably, like, flew in a dozen Irish to build it for him.
So, yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
So what was the, why the fire out in the middle of nowhere that the fire people couldn't find? What was the point of the fire?
Yeah. I don't know. I've read a theory on it. And that theory is that the monster, that this isn't folk horror at all, and that this is actually sci-fi, and that it was an alien that crash landed in the forest. That column of smoke was from its crash or something, and then it, like, hit itself and whatever. But I don't think that answers enough. I don't think that that explains why it would be snuggling Isaac in the night, but it's a cool theory.
Yeah, I didn't understand why it had to call Isaac out to join it out there when it was perfectly capable of fucking Isaac up right in his own bed. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. There was those were every movie has those things where you're like, what is that? What? I don't. And those were kind of like the ones in this one. Like, it was a cool concept that there was, to me, I mean, I get that alien thing, but I don't buy that. But I mean, at least it's an explanation for the fire that, you know, the fire added to the otherworldliness of the whole thing, but it just, you know, it felt like the way the events were presented so quickly in succession. I mean, it really felt like the fire was obviously, you know, directly related to the thing, but there was no reason why. It didn't seem to have any affinity for fire or anything. I mean, it wasn't like, Isaac, give me your Bic lighter. Like, it...
Yeah.
So, you know, got a light?
I mean, if anything, it would hate fire because it's made its house out of brittle sticks.
That's right.
So, what are we doing here?
The house that is a giant bundle of sticks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Kindling water.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me of Beyond the Door 3, the town made of sticks.
Yes. Well, better to burn children with, I guess.
I kept expecting a really, really old lady with crazy eyes to come out and start going, make soup. Hot soup.
Hot soup?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know what to make out of a lot of this. I don't know, because it told Isaac to bring Robert out there. It also wanted Isaac to go into the house. We never actually see whether or not Isaac went into the house. It was mostly just riling Isaac up and getting Isaac to not trust them, because he saw them kiss. It's like, you can't trust them, they're lying to you. I feel like the monster's not real, like it's just like a horror movie representation of like grief-based paranoia or something, but then the movie goes to extra lengths to tell you that it is real because it has a skeleton.
Yeah, like, I mean, I guess I read where, you know, some people think it's a manifestation of his grief, which, I mean, yeah, in a literal sense, maybe, or, you know, in a symbolic sense, maybe, but in a literal sense, maybe not so much. I mean, if it is, what is the goal of it, you know? Okay, so the kid manifests a weird, balled up, like, super fast running version of himself, his father in tights, that has his father's face and builds a really cool stick fort, but wants him to join it in the stick fort because we don't know why, because it's going to somehow possess it or something. Even though it has full access to the home and, you know, can do whatever it comes and goes at will and pretty much does whatever it's like cuddling with the fucking kid in his bed. I mean, he's pretty thorough access there. So I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. there are parts of it that I really like. Like, I really like the fact that when we see it, we see that its skull is not human, but we don't get to see the front of it. So we don't get to really see what it is, but we can tell that it's not human. But
yeah, the impression I got was that it doesn't have a face. It just, biologically speaking, it just takes on whatever face it, attracts its attention the most or whatever. Which is cool, but isn't really explicit. And I don't know, like, seeing the skeleton looked cool, but also, why do we see the skeleton? And why does it have a perfectly normal human? Maybe it was turning into a human and it needed the kid to
for bones?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it needed the kid to fully believe it's bullshit before it... I don't know. There's a lot left open, and I guess maybe he did that on purpose and went more for the visuals. And, that could have a lot to do with the fact that he's known for making, like, commercials and rock videos.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. This one, it doesn't, like, thread the needle. Like, you can see the seams of the movie making and the storytelling. Like the character Robert is literally just there for her to have someone to...
Yeah.
For the characters to have someone to say things to until he's not needed anymore.
And then he runs head first into a tree, according to... What, some people...
Yeah. That's what the assumption is, that he was running from something and then fell down and hit his head, which it's like, why? What? Why? Okay, well, bye, Robert, I guess.
Yeah. So he, one way or another, got his skull bashed in, and then with him disposed of, we could move on with the story.
Yeah. And even the I don't know. There's this thing where we see the dad's, like, scraped off face skull. I guess from the car accident. We're never told that it was a car accident, but in a dream, she sees a car accident, and then she sees his scraped off face skull, and it's
they don't say that
also...
it's an accident. I know when they're driving home from the hospital, they pass the accident site. There's like a accident site on the right.
Oh shit, really?
There's like a sign and police tape that says "Do not cross area" or whatever between two trees, where I'm assuming where the dad ate shit. Bye.
Wow.
Also, what...
I didn't catch that.
What fucking hospital did they take this guy to? What kind of bandage job was that?
It's so gross.
They just lump up a wad of like gauze and dip it in pink blood juice and then just kind of like form it into this lumpy face cover.
Yeah.
Like,
it wasn't wrapped around a head. It was just like cheese whizzed onto something.
It's like somebody just grabbed a wad of stuff out of the trash and put it on his face and then said, "All right, bring the kid in."
It's so disturbing though, because it has like the wrong colors in it too. Like, you know how like at hospitals, like, you'll get the blood, but then there's also like iodine, and it's that really, really upsetting color on the gauze.
The other thing that was weird about that whole scene. Let's see, what was it? Like, oh God, what the hell was it? It already passed me by. Never mind. I'm old.
It's fine. We'll come back around to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I know what it was.
Yeah, get it.
Why bring the kid? What is this whole say goodbye to your dad thing? Like, I don't know. It just seemed, it's like, oh, by the way, your dad's moments from death, come here and stare at his horrible, horrific blood juice visage mask. Now get the fuck out of here. And your dad, who you love so much and want him to come back more than anything, gave everything to her.
Yeah,
why?
Except a special grave Zebo.
Grave Zebo that you destroy. You little shit.
Yeah, yeah. I like that they were like, perhaps if there had been more time, he would have done something different when he rewrote his will
to give
but
everything
all he
to his new lady, and for his beloved child, he gets the death garden where he's buried next to his former wife, who also died.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
Don't know.
What did you say? Death gazebo?
Grave Zebo.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's even a scene where the lady's like, all right, he left everything to you. All of his money, all of his shares in his architecture firm, this house, all of his other houses and everything. And you get to decide whether or not to adopt his child or just, like, let loose his child into orphandom. Like, what the fuck? That dude sucks.
I know. What a fucking shitty dad. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And this kid misses him because he once got a used fucking Nintendo Game Boy or whatever it was that was already taken out of the box and wrapped up.
Yeah, he got like a pawn shop Game Boy.
From his multi-billionaire dad.
Yeah. What a douche.
Who clearly killed his wife so he could have this 12-year-old girlfriend.
He's like, ooh, she has a drinking problem? Sign me up.
Perfecto.
Oh, what a piece of shit. And then, yeah, he's got, like, rich hobnob friends that he told all of her shit to. It's like, oh, yeah, I prevented her from going to rehab.
Yeah, his dad's a douche.
Yeah, what a horrible man. I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get any of that. There's also this weird thing where they're driving home and the kid is like, so what happened? So he's asking her what happened to his dad, and her answer is that they had to take him off of life support.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like he's asking about what happened at the end, not like everything, like, it didn't make any sense. That's my problem with this show is there's a lot of things that didn't make sense, a lot of things that never went anywhere and didn't need to be there. Yeah. It felt very much like, you know, we talked about it with Longlegs and with the Shining, where there's these extra pieces that actually build towards something or like help push the magic of the movie forward. And I feel like there are things that he put in here that was trying to do that but didn't really get there. Like the column of smoke, it's just like, I don't know, I felt like putting a column of smoke in the movie.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be foreboding?
And you know, maybe it was like, okay, if you're going to put one shot that is surreal but visually striking with no explanation, you might want to put a couple more just to kind of give the viewer the, you know, idea that you just want some stark imagery in there. But if you just put one, it seems like it has some sort of purpose. It's like, oh, the fire. Okay, I get it. So there's a fire. So then there's a man ball in the dining table. That runs fast, so fast that you can't follow it. Okay.
Yeah, and also there is like when you rewatch it, you catch little things like earlier in the movie, she looks over at the spot where the man ball will be later. Yeah. Like she looks like over there, and it's like, oh, okay, what's happening? And there's, you know, like, oh, I bet the man ball obviously must be summoned by too loud dubstep music being played, right? Oh, no, in fact, the man ball is not a dubstep monster. That would be too cool.
And you know it's coming because all of your lights turn blue and start strobing at weird times.
Yeah, what was that? That happened twice.
Yeah.
It's like when she falls asleep and dreams, then you get blue strobe lights. Unless she's sleeping on the floor and there's dubstep, then you get a man ball.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he was going for one of those man. It's like he was going for one of those. Is it in my head, or or is it actually happening? And then just kind of abandoned that.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's like, fuck it, it's really happening. But it's also in her head, sort of, and the kid maybe in his head also, fuck the kid because we don't like children, and then man ball,
yeah, yep. And also the whole thing with Bella, like. The like it turning in like it changing its face to look like Bella and barking but not at the same timbre as her, that was great, super creepy, great effect. But when you rewatch the movie, you're like, why is it like pretending to be Bella at the kid real quick for a second in the vent? Is it that once it turned into Bella, it couldn't change back into the dad until it was around the kid?
That could be.
Is it? And then why did its face turn into a monster at the end instead of staying like his dad?
Yeah.
Or was it gonna eat the kid? Why did the kid turn against it if the kid was like at that point like 100% on board, but then at the last minute he's like, "Ooh, no, your face is gross. I'm going to protect this lady I hate instead of you."
Yeah, suddenly, because as if no other part of this thing was scary. It just had his dad's face, but only his dad's face that was basically similar to the horrible photo of him and his kid that the kid finds in the stick hut later. That, it's like, I mean, the face that, it's not like, I love my dad too, but I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. If he shows up in my air conditioning vent and looks like a man ball and is making the weirdest face of all the faces he makes, I don't know that I would necessarily be like, "Oh, he's back! Hey, everybody! He's back in the form of a ball of man!" It's like,
Isaac,
I'm like,
I'll pay for dinner.
Jesus Christ, this kid. The message of the story is, if the mother dies and the dad dies, just kill the kid. Just put him out of his misery, because there's no hope. All he's going to do is grow up to bang his stepmother.
Yeah, he has gained 10 feet in height, and she is just as young and hot as ever. Maybe she got her hair changed a little. I don't know.
Yeah, she got her hair did. She got like dyed red and got a perm.
Yeah,
she got all sultry up.
She just wakes up with bedroom eyes and is like, "Oh, come on in. Is everything all right?
What is it, 3 in the afternoon? I just happen to be in bed."
Also, where is her? Are they okay? So there's a frame on this movie. At the beginning, we see tall Isaac, and he's like wandering around the house, including looking at the air conditioning vent. And then at the end, we're returned to him. He's looking at the air conditioning vent. This has all been him remembering it. And then he goes out to the stick for it. He sees the thing, and then he goes back into his mom's room and says, "Hey." But do they live in that house still?
No.
And he's just...
No, because remember...
So where is her bedroom?
In that modern townhouse in town that they now live in. So apparently...
Okay.
And apparently they still own the house, since his fucking dick ass can just come and go in the places he pleases. But yeah, when they show at the beginning, they also show, like an overhead shot of the main living area of the house, and like that dining room table has like a tarp on it with the chairs all upside down on top of it. So nobody, I guess they just shuttered the place, and the kid just goes back whenever he feels like it, which apparently is 10 years later. Because I guess he's been thinking about his dad because he's been boning his dad's lady. I don't know what.
Good choice, Dad.
Yeah, so I guess she owns God knows how much money, and so she decides to buy a crappy, like, middle of the road row condo. I don't know. Whatever.
Closer to the wine bar.
Oh shit, she is a lush.
I like how obliterated she gets. She gets she gets like on death's door drunk, where she's just like eyes open staring at the ceiling, unconsciously drunk.
She literally gets so drunk that she passes out and falls on the floor.
Yeah, and cannot be stirred until random herbal tea is brewed.
Random herbal tea or excessively loud dubstep is played.
Yeah, I don't even that. The dubstep didn't wake her up. It was Bella barking over the dubstep. Oh, wait, it's too noisy in here. I have to wake up.
It's like, Jesus Christ, suddenly Firestarter is playing in the dining room at 400 decibels, and then the dog is barking over it. That wakes her up. She's completely
Skrillex
face down on the floor, unconcho, while Smack My Bitch Up is blaring through the house.
Also, I love that move by her. She knows Isaac is just in the other room, but I am going to obliterate 200-year-old bottles of wine and crank up the dubstep to 12.
I'm gonna blow the doors down with Marshmallow Head.
So good.
Everybody in this movie is scum.
Yeah. And also there's this part where she's like basically like her and Robert are snuggling on the couch. She basically has her hand down his pants until he says that the reason that his marriage didn't work is because he cheated, and then she's like, ew, gross, and spits his dick out.
It's like, what did you expect? He's still married to her, you idiot.
He's got daughters that we will never see.
that never come to the hospital to see him. They just don't exist.
They don't care. He also has the worst thing any parent of children has ever said to other children, which is, my children say hello. It's like, great, thanks. Tell them I said hi.
Yeah, give them my empty hello in return.
Yes, I say hello to them. Be sure to tell them that when next you see them.
If you even have children, you dick.
Yeah, you horrible dick who probably killed my dad.
and made a really cool mask out of his face.
Oh, I mean, that would have been so cool if they were like, you know, it turned out he died in a horrible car accident, but we couldn't find his face.
Yeah.
But no. I think the blue lights that were flashing outside were supposed to be like police lights or something.
Oh, because of the fire?
Yeah, or because of the car accident. I think they were supposed to be like the emergency responder lights. And so, like, maybe it was imitating that too. I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but it's a good movie. It's worth watching. It's creepy. It's good. Just don't watch it 3 times and then record a podcast about it, and you'll be fine.
No, you'll be good. It's got some good scares. It's a good one-time watch.
Yeah, one and done. Much like Laura.
Yeah.
Now we can go back to being mom and son.
Oh boy.
So, John, what else have you been consuming horror-wise in the realms of movies, audiobooks, music? How do you say, non-horror as well?
I watched, based on a recommendation from some guy at work, I watched,
nice.
What's it called? Caddo Lake on Max.
Oh!
Max. It was okay. He said that it was kind of a horror movie. It's not kind of a horror movie at all. It's more of a time travel-y character drama.
Nice.
It's a bit of a mess. It's okay. It was worth a watch, I guess. I also watched a film. I watched this morning actually a film called Mr. Crockett on Hulu, I believe it was, about a children's TV show host who is basically some sort of demonic, evil former child kidnapper who was ostracized for being a terrible TV children's host and now runs a evil TV children's show from hell where he brutally murders the parents of children who mistreat the children, but then it turns out that he's actually even worse. And then, like, he has all these, like, rubbery, monster props that are, like Mr. Chair. But then when Mr. Chair shows up in the real world, he's got bunches of, like, rows of rubbery teeth and shiny slime blood and eyes that go, and all this stuff. It was very, like, cartoony, and it felt like have you ever watched any of the was it called Channel Zero TV series?
Channel Zero, yeah.
Some of those were kick-ass. It would have worked really, really well as a Channel Zero thing, but it's a feature film. It's not a great film, but it is kind of fun. It's too long. It should have been maybe an hour at the most. It would have been perfect as, like, a Channel Zero episode. But yeah,
nice.
I watched that. It was pretty funny. And then I'll let you mention the next thing I saw because I know you're going to bring it up. I also, I listened to a bunch of audiobooks. Let's see, whose books did I listen to? In the meantime, I'll pull up some of the records that I was listening to since I never do that. There's a kind of like an experimental metal band called Oransi Pazuzu, who
oh fuck, I'm writing that down. Who
has a new album out called Muntau Tuja, which is kind of industrial, kind of trancey, very heavy, fucking kick-ass, like everything they do. The noise rock, post-punk noise rock band from Oklahoma, Chat Pile, has a new record out called Cool World. They're awesome. What else? There's a bunch of stuff. I won't get into that, but yeah. How about yourself? What have you been perusing in the world of media?
Oh, well, I ended up with a Paramount.
Sorry.
I ended up with a Paramount Plus subscription for some reason. I don't remember why I got it, but I was like, you know what? It's been a long time. This is one that's super Josh and John, because you introduced me to this, and I had never experienced it. And then I watched it all through, and then I watched the final part during the lockdown, the pandemic lockdown, when we all stayed inside our houses, and then I haven't revisited it since. So I started my rewatch of Twin Peaks.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. I haven't revisited the guy who cries anytime something sad happens in a while. So I've got quite an adventure ahead of me.
Oh, man. And then you got to watch the final season. Have you seen the final season?
That's the one that I watched during the pandemic lockdown.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so good. Very looking forward to that more than season 2. And of course, we have a movie in there you got to watch with the firing and the walking with me.
Oh, the walking and the firing and the weird guy named Bob.
Oh, Bob, who could that be?
Bob's your uncle.
Not just a guy on set who looked creepy.
Oh, that was nightmare fuel, too. The Bob scene.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That would be a good daddy's head right there.
Oh, man. Perfection.
Yeah. Oh, man. And then I just recently watched Mads, which is uppercase M, lowercase AD, uppercase S, so it kind of makes you think of SARS. It is, I believe, the thing that you were once referencing 2 moments ago. It's made to look like it's all a single shot French zombie film, and it's pretty good.
It's pretty kick-ass. It is indeed a single shot.
Is it actually? Did
it
they
is.
do it all in one? Wow.
Not only is it a single shot, the director had the crew members wear GoPros because he intends to make a documentary film. Dear God, it's a badger. He intends to make like a documentary, the making of film, showing how they did it, because they have all these guys with GoPros behind the scenes. I mean, there's only one camera, so I guess it's a lot of orchestration. But yeah, it's a single shot, which is fucking insane.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, because there are lots of scenes where they, like, cut away and they, like, move over to a different scene, and I guess that's how they, like, reset the person for the next thing that they had to do, like, get the squibs on them or whatever. But yeah, that thing is glorious. Like, I guess this is a little bit of a spoiler, but basically instead of following a character, you're following the vector of the zombie virus that they carry. And so you're seeing it pass from one character to the next, and it is so badass, especially because the thing that they do with zombies, the way zombies are in this movie, is different than what you would expect. Like, it's not the standard. And it is so fucking creepy and good.
Yeah, if you hate zombie movies, this one, you wouldn't have a problem watching this one, because it just doesn't do it the standard zombie business. But it is a zombie movie. It just doesn't go there.
They're not bitey brains zombies. They're like cool party zombies.
Adrenaline junkie zombies who are addicted to photons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's it was good. I'd thought about picking that one for us to discuss today, but the turnaround of like when it was released versus when we record was just too tight. But I think it would be hard to summarize, but it's a good one too.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, no, I agree. That's true. Yeah, but it is a fine film.
Yeah. A fine feathered film.
Whoa.
And yeah, that's what I've been up to. That's what I've been consuming. That's all I got. John, what are we going to consume next when we talk about a movie in 2 weeks?
That's a move. I have a list of things that I kind of, things that I'd like to do for the show, possibly. Some of them when I look at the list, sometimes I'm like, yeah, we're not going to ever do that one, but I keep it on the list. This particular one is one that I think will be good for the show. I did not look and see if it's available, but it probably is.
Ooh, I can do that.
Yeah, you can do that. It was a film from 1972 by a director whose probably next film I think we covered, Brian De Palma. And his fine 1972, I haven't seen it yet, but highly praised weird movie called Sisters.
Sisters! Brian De Palma! Oh my god!
Whoa.
Let's see. I don't recall ever talking about it. It is available on Max.
Oh, okay. Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they got really up their own butt about Brian De Palma a while back in that documentary and all of that stuff. So.
Nice.
Oh, and it's also okay. It's on Max and it's on Plex, so you can watch it for free.
Perfect.
I fucking love Plex.
Plex rocks. Not as much as what's going on with my hair up top there.
Dude, it's looking glorious. You got, like, leonine hair going on.
Look at this shit.
Ooh, you can see where the sweat has touched it and where it has not. There's a daddy's head.
You should have consulted with me.
Okay, so I have one more thing I forgot I want to talk about, and that is that the guy, you remember Smile?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now Smile 2 has become a huge deal. It's brought in like $200 million at the box office. everyone is crapping their dick about it. Everyone's like super juiced and junky about it. I don't care. I'm probably going to have to see it just because everyone's talking about how much better than the first one it was. So that's good, at least. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but the trailer makes it look terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
I mean, the part where they're like, all the smile people are holding each other back as a smile tide coming towards her. It just doesn't look like the first trailer made it look creepy, and it is creepy. This one makes it look campy and just dumb. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll watch it, of course. So.
I'm gonna watch it. It's just whether or not I shit on it is the question. You know what I mean?
Whether or not I crap my dick over it.
But now, what they're talking about is he is next slated to work with Robert Pattinson of the Lighthouse fame to remake Possession.
Oh, God. Oh, that's frightening. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
thunderbolts and lightning.
Oh, very, very frightening me.
Yes.
Wow.
He said that you would have to be a crazy person to try to remake Possession, and he thinks he might just be that crazy.
So he made Smile too, I'm assuming?
He made Smile and Smile 2.
Okay.
So the guy who made Smile is going to remake Possession.
Smiley McSmilerson is going to remake Possession. Wow. Who's he going to get for the...
Starring Robert Pattinson.
I mean, that gives me a little bit of hope.
See it.
Yeah. He's a good actor. I mean, he could definitely... I think he could pull it off. I mean, he's no Sam Neill, you know what I'm talking about? I don't know what that... I don't know what that means, but... And then who would he get to play the other character? I forget the actress' name.
I don't know. We are so bad.
So bad. So bad.
Any female. Like, what's their name even?
Isabella Johnny.
Yes, Isabella Johnny. Yes, yeah. Yeah, I don't know who he's going to get for that. I hope it's not Kristen Stewart.
I hope it's not Kristen Stewart. That would be weird. I hope it's not the girl, again, I can't remember her name, but the girl that's in Dune, the Dune remakes.
Zendaya?
Yeah, Zendaya. Why do I feel like it'll be Zendaya? Yeah. Probably because of Rob Pattinson, so it's like another teen, like Kristen. Yeah, okay. So then, let's see. Who would be good as the other character?
This is a good thought experiment, because, like, I don't know. Maybe the season 1 abandoned actor girl from House of the Dragon, the one that was like the little queenie who then got replaced by an adult actor.
Interesting.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, maybe that girl that plays Lucy in Martyrs, the one, what's her name? Jamiroquai or something like that.
Yeah, the one who isn't an actor anymore.
That's the one.
Yeah, get her.
God damn it.
What about Charles Grodin?
Oh man, Charles Grodin would absolutely slay in that role. That would be so cool if you got Charles Grodin, who's, I believe, dead, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay,
dead.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's good.
We'll use Charlie's head, Charlie's face.
Yeah, Daddy's Grodin.
Whoa. Daddy's scrotum.
Whoa! That is what he looks like! Why was it Daddy's head? It should have been Daddy's scrotum the whole time.
That's gonna be the porn remake.
His black leathery scrotum.
Daddy's stones.
Nutscapes.
Oh, God. Wow, that's so weird that guy is doing that. I mean, he's made a name for himself for making, a film that kind of got a lot of buzz, was kind of comical in a way, but ultimately proved to be surprisingly effective, and then backs it up with what appears to be a way over the top, like, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know that much about it, but just the trailer does not make it look good. I'll put it that way. But it's an enormous success, like you say. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that a Rob Pattinson-led Possession remake is not going to be a huge box office success. I could be wrong.
I mean, as far as like films where they're remaking it because of the name value and the fact that there's an existing fandom, I don't think Possession has that. No. I think you've almost exclusively got sweaty old nerd dudes that are ready to be mad at you, and that's it.
Yeah, actually, guys like us.
Yeah, it's just all of the guys that were mad about Luke Skywalker dying are now lining up to see your movie with hate in their butts.
Not a single pair of arms uncrossed.
Already the sweaty upside down T ready to go.
Oh my God. Stock up on Jolt Cola, because here they come.
Yeah, they're smell so bad.
Yeah, that is a good, that actually, although also extremely hilarious, is a really good point as well. That really the only audience is going to be fucking losers like us.
Yeah, if you want to bring your date to a movie theater where she will feel uncomfortable, why not buy 2 tickets to Possession in theaters?
Of course, then again, I mean, I guess, well, but to be fair, the guy that remade Suspiria did not have the baggage of Smile behind him. But the remake of Suspiria, I mean, when I heard that it was being remade, I was like, oh, that's a terrible idea. And I actually really like that movie. So,
hell yeah.
That remake is, that was a good remake. Did you see the remake?
I haven't seen the original, nor the remake.
Gnocchi, the remake.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Suspiria is,
Tom York.
they just added it to Shudder, so you could watch it in all of its beautiful glory without any commercials.
Nice. I know it's Russian ballerinas. That's it.
It's so good. Oh my God, I love that movie. I mean, it's him, so it's terrible, but great at the same time. It's fucking and the remake is great. It's a totally different film, but very effective. He did a great job. I was shocked.
Yeah. So all of that is to say, I am gonna go see your Possession remake. I will be already sweaty and stinky.
Oh, yeah.
My fingernails will be orange from the Cheetos that I have eaten and then licked the powder off. And I am ready to be critical of your decisions, Mr. Smile Man.
I will absolutely be wearing, rustlers. Is that what they're called? Rustler pants from Walmart and shoes with Velcro straps on them. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm here. I've got my New Balances on.
I'm growing my neck beard as we talk.
I have not found a deodorant that is effective on me yet.
And I'm already laying an internet trail for why women are responsible for all my problems.
Instead of cologne, I use Aqua Velva.
Aqua Axva.
What is that? The smell of Preparation H and Bengay all throughout the theater room?
I've never seen so many ring cushions in my life.
Oh, man.
And just walking in and lined with them, like their arms through them like giant donuts.
You know, if you only have to pay for a soda, but you could fill it up with the icy.
Oh, my God.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Well, so, Loathsome Things, a horror movie podcast.
We brought it back around.
In 2 weeks, we're going to do a movie that I forgot the name. Sisters!
Nice.
1973, Brian De Palma, not Carrie.
Nope, we already did that one, which was what, 74?
Sure.
Why not?
Guy. Yeah.
Don't ask me why. I'm terrible with people's names, but I can remember the year a movie is made. It's very strange, but
yep.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about this, but I do remember reading about it and thinking that's going on the list. So, could be terrible. Who can say?
Nice. This will be the first podcast that we will release after Election Day.
Oh God.
And I believe we haven't. I think this podcast started after Joe Biden's inauguration.
Yeah.
So this will be the first in a tumultuous transfery period. So hopefully your choice of sisters will prove prophetic. You see where I'm going with this?
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, that may end up being an incredibly depressing day. I don't know. We'll see.
A movie we don't know. A conclusion we don't know. Happy hip hip hooray.
So join us in 2 weeks as we pretend like the world isn't coming to an end. And as always, I'm sorry you all have to die. Stupid.